On that evening at Anfield, Liverpool stepped onto the pitch with the look of a team trying to rediscover its familiar rhythm. They dominated possession, took more shots, and imposed themselves from the opening minutes. But football, as it so often does, enjoys teasing those who appear to be in control. In the 36th minute, from what seemed like an ordinary moment, Anthony Gordon struck a diagonal shot. The ball slipped through the narrow gap between the defender's legs and found the far corner, leaving Alisson with no chance. Newcastle were ahead, and for a brief moment Anfield fell silent. Liverpool, however, are not a team accustomed to panic. Just 5 minutes later, Florian Wirtz, the young signing carrying so much expectation, burst into the penalty area and delivered a precise cutback. Waiting there was Hugo Ekitike, as if he had already chosen that spot before the move even began. A simple touch, and the scores were level. 3 minutes after that, Ekitike went again. No flair, no excess, just a burst of pace and a toe-poke finish into the far corner. The kind of strike that looks familiar, yet remains almost impossible to stop. Liverpool went into the break with the lead, and with the feeling that the tide had turned. The second half became a story of pressure. Newcastle retreated. Liverpool advanced, patient and relentless. In the 67th minute, Mohamed Salah, a player with a curious fondness for this opponent, provided a perfectly weighted assist. Unmarked, Wirtz finished calmly to make it -3. It was another sign of the growing understanding between Wirtz and Ekitike, a partnership already responsible for more combined goal involvements than any other duo in the league this season. As the match drifted toward its conclusion, Liverpool were not done. In the 3rd minute of added time, a corner caused chaos in the Newcastle box. Nick Pope failed to hold the ball, and Ibrahima Konate reacted first, stabbing it goalward. The ball took a deflection and rolled slowly over the line. But it was not merely a goal to seal a 4-1 victory. Konate broke down in tears. The French defender had only just returned to the starting lineup after missing matches while mourning the loss of his father. Teammates surrounded him. Alisson ran from the far end of the pitch to embrace him. Virgil van Dijk placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. In that moment, football ceased to be about tactics or points. It became something deeply human. After the match, Steven Gerrard sat in the studio and found himself speaking of Fernando Torres. He said that whenever he watches Ekitike, he sees echoes of LNIO in his prime. The speed, the power, the instinctive toe-poke finishes. A comparison that carries weight, coming from a man who once shared the pitch with Torres at his peak. Ekitike responded with humility. He admitted he would never place himself alongside Torres, a truly extraordinary player. His focus, he said, is simple: to score, to create, and to help the team win. With Alexander Isak sidelined by a long-term injury, the responsibility has fallen on the young Frenchman's shoulders. And so far, he has not shied away from it. The 4-1 win lifted Liverpool into 5th place in the table. Yet perhaps what they took from Anfield that night was more than 3 points. It was belief in new signings finding their place, in the unity of the dressing room, and in the idea that football, in the end, is a story told not just through numbers, but through emotion.